segment of the show for today. We're talking to Mr. RPatton and Mr. Matthew Walker. And Mr. Walker, let's begin with you by having you to give us what you might consider to be the legacy of the sit-in movements and the freedom rising, et cetera, and how we might be able to use that as a teaching tool.
Well, I think one of the things about the legacy, and the legacy is extensive, but one of the things about the legacy is that at the time of the sit-ins, I was 18 years old. A number of others were 18, 19 in that area. And I believe that what happened was that youngsters in 1960 assumed a certain amount of social responsibility as far as taking this action for change. I would hope, as others would hope, that youngsters today would assume a like amount of social responsibility, and since they don't have the same kind of barriers that we have, recognize that things have gotten much better due to a lot of sacrifice made by those who came before them, and I should hope they would be inspired to be more serious about their education, be more serious about their behaviors in some instances. It's very sad that less than 50% of our students graduate from high school. It's very sad that we have young men walking around with their pants hanging low, behaving in ways that are detrimental. Unmanly, number one, detrimental to themselves and others, giving negative images about themselves, and they think this is something good. I just hope that some of our experiences, some of the sacrifice that others before us and during our time made can be made plain to them, that they can see there is a much bigger and brighter future for them if they would look at the big picture and not just get caught up in those things that are glamorized as far as the hood, thug life, and this type of thing. I do believe also it would be good if some of the lessons learned during the 60s could be made a part of the regular curriculum in the public school system here in Nashville. I understand that other cities have incorporated their civil rights experiences into their school curriculum. Nashville, as the Athens of the South, was the first major city to integrate its public facilities, and I think that, plus the fact that the most disciplined civil rights sit-in movement took place in Nashville during that time, I think that leaves the onus on Nashville to make this more institutionalized as far as official Nashville is concerned. It's a shame that we have so few historical markers about this thing. It's a shame that we don't have a civil rights museum here in Nashville. We're still hoping that the city administration can make some formal proclamation about this 50th anniversary here in Nashville so that we can continue to live up to our image as the Athens of the South.
So there's a real buried heritage in all of this. Is that what we're saying?
Well, you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. And that's as simple as I can put it. I think along with when he was talking about the 50% non-graduates, I also would like to say we always talk about our young men. When we were young, you had to respect young ladies. And I'm saying let's let the young ladies, they need to learn about respect and demand respect. And I always believe that that is a possible chance that if a young lady has respect for herself, then that young man has got to do the right thing.
And he will.
He's got to do the right thing.
He will.
James Brown said it best. It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
That's right.
So all these young ladies have to do.
To demand respect.
Demand respect.
That's right.
That's the basis.
Yeah, that's the basis.
We were taught respect. To respect our mothers, to respect our sisters. I mean, if you know anything about the past, one of the biggest fights that you could get into was to say something about somebody's mother or their sister.
There you go.